Welcome back guys. Now let's discuss about the intestinal secretions and also let's see the gastrointestinal motility. Now see the mucus in the intestines are produced from the mucus secretion in the intestines is coming from the goblet cells. Okay, every student knows this. So goblet cells produce mucus, and can you able to tell me, okay, are you guys able to tell me what is the staining for mucus? Okay, how to stain the mucus? The mucus is stained with which dye? 𝐼𝐶N blue. Okay, 𝐼𝐶N blue. 𝐼𝐶N blue is the stain for the mucus or the goblet cells. Now the cells in the intestines are called as enterocytes, you already know it, and now these enterocytes they are going to produce intestinal juices which are called as 𝗂𝐻𝑒𝑛𝐻 entericus. Okay, the intestinal juice which is also called as 𝗂𝐻𝑒𝑛𝐻 entericus is produced from the enterocytes. And here I want you to know some important points. There are these cells called as the parietal cells. Okay, in the intestines, in the crypts of Leiberkuhn, in the depths of crypts of Leiberkuhn, there are these cells present which are called as the parietal cells. Now these parietal cells they will produce substances called as defensins. Okay, parietal cells they will produce substances called as defensins as well as lysozyme. Both are antibacterial. The question asked in the exam is defensins are the molecules produced from parietal cells. Okay. Now not only that, I want you to know there are cells called as M cells. Okay, microfold cells, M cells. Now these M cells they are the antigen presenting cells. They are the APCs, antigen presenting cells in the intestines. They are the M cells. Now after this, the two important hormones which I want to discuss here is motilin and ghrelin. Okay, what are the important points about the motilin? See, this motilin, it is produced from M0 cells. Okay, M0 cells or Mo cells, we can say. Now, what is the important point about this motilin? See, in the name itself, it's there. Motilin causes the GI motility. Okay, GI motility. Which type of GI motility? Especially migratory motor complex. Later, you will understand what is the migratory motor complex. But for now, see, motilin, what it is doing? Motilin, it is produced from MO cells, okay, MO cells, and what it is do, it increases the gastric, that is the stomach, it increases the gastric as well as intestinal motility. Okay, well and good. Now motilin have to act on its receptor, motilin have to act on its motilin receptor. But important point is, same, whenever motilin acts on motilin receptor, yes, GIT peristalsis will happen, GI motility will happen. Important point is, see, these motilin receptors are not only stimulated by the motilin, okay, motilin receptors are not only stimulated by the motilin, but also by other substances or by other drugs, like it's erythromycin, okay, it's erythromycin. So, erythromycin, what it will do? It will stimulate the motilin receptors. So, unnecessary stimulation of motilin receptors will cause what? More GI motility. So, whenever there is more GI motility, that will cause diarrhea. So, that is the reason why erythromycin, the macrolide, antibacterial, this erythromycin, it is having a side effect of diarrhea. Okay, it's a side effect. It's a side effect. The side effect of the erythromycin is diarrhea. Why? Because this erythromycin stimulates the motilin receptors. Now, how can we utilize this? Like side effect. How can we utilize this side effect? Is, see, there are these conditions called as gastric paralysis. Okay, gastric paralysis or paralytic ileus. In both the conditions, the GIT motility is decreased. The GIT motility is decreased. So, as a good doctor, what you have to do? You have to increase the GI motility. Now we know if you stimulate the motilin receptors, yes, GI motility will be increased. So, for the treatment of gastric paralysis and for the treatment of paralytic ileus, in both the conditions, you can use a drug called as erythromycin. So, this erythromycin is used, okay, it's used in treatment of gastric paralysis or paralytic ileus. Okay, done. Now, after the motilin, let's discuss about ghrelin. Okay, after motilin, let's discuss about ghrelin. One important point of motilin is, this motilin, it causes migratory motor complex. Okay, it's going to cause a migratory motor complex. What is migratory motor complex? We will discuss later. Okay, it's a type of GI motility. It's a type of GI motility which especially seen during fasting states. Okay, now let's talk about the ghrelin. So, ghrelin is produced from the pancreas. Okay, ghrelin is going to be produced from the pancreas, and now this ghrelin, okay, is going to be produced especially during fasting. Okay, during fasting, ghrelin is produced. Now tell me, sir, during fasting, what do we need? We need glucose. Okay, during fasting, we need the glucose. Why? Because you are not eating anything. So, you need to increase the blood glucose level somehow. So, ghrelin is produced during fasting. What it will do? It will increases your hunger. It's a mistake? Yeah, it increases hunger. The feeling of hunger will be increased because of this ghrelin. Okay, ghrelin increases the hunger. Not only that, see this ghrelin, what it will do? It decreases the insulin levels. But it increases the growth hormone levels and acid levels. Why? Because, see, ghrelin, what it is doing? It is decreasing the insulin levels. Now, what insulin do? Insulin decreases the blood glucose levels. Insulin all the time want to decrease blood glucose levels. So, now, fasting, we don't want insulin. Why? Because if insulin is there will be further reduction in the blood glucose levels, which is not good at all. So, what this ghrelin is going to do? See, ghrelin is going to decrease the insulin. So when you decrease the insulin, automatically blood glucose levels are raised. Okay, so decrease the insulin. Now ghrelin directly will stimulate the growth hormone release. Ghrelin acts on the somatotropes. Okay, ghrelin directly goes to the brain, it acts on the somatotropes, the anterior pituitary. Now what will happen? Growth hormone is going to be released. Now growth hormone, what it will do? Growth hormone is a hyperglycemic hormone. Growth hormone is going to increase the blood glucose levels. So that's what is desired during fasting states. So ghrelin decreases the insulin levels. Okay, ghrelin increases the growth hormone. Okay, and also increases the acid in the stomach. Okay, feeling of hunger, like you will have a feeling of hunger. Now, not only that, ghrelin increases the GI motility. Okay, increases the GI motility. Done. So after this, let's discuss about GI motility. GI motility. Okay. Now, if I ask you, what is the pacemaker of the heart? The pacemaker of the heart is SA node. What is the pacemaker of respiratory system? The pacemaker of respiratory system is pre-Botzinger complex, which is present in the medulla. In the same way, what is the pacemaker of the GI motility? The pacemaker of the GI motility is interstitial cell of Коваль. Okay, it's the interstitial cell of Коваль. See, there is one pre-Botzinger complex and there is one SA node, but there are many these interstitial cells of Коваль. Okay, these interstitial cells of Коваль are many in number. Okay, they are many in number. They are going to start from the greater curvature of the body of the stomach. They are going to start from the greater curvature of the body of the stomach and they will extend till to the colon. Okay, they will extend till to the colon. Okay, there are many cells are present. Okay, now here let's first discuss about one interstitial cell of Коваль. Okay, let's see. Let's take it as interstitial cell of Коваль. Okay, now let me draw here. This is interstitial cell of Коваль. Okay, now in this interstitial cell of Коваль, these are the pacemaker cells, right? So if I am saying them as a pacemaker cells, now do you think their resting membrane potential is going to be constant? No, there is no such thing as resting membrane potential. Always the membrane potential, it will vary. Okay, so in this interstitial cell of Коваль also, see, now the membrane potential is not constant. The membrane potential is fluctuating. Okay, now it's little from negative, it's coming, little positive, it's going back. From little negative, it's coming positive, going back. So little positive, coming back. Little positive, coming back. So these are not the motilities. These are electrical fluctuation, or I can say electrical motility within the interstitial cell of Коваль. So within the interstitial cell of Коваль, sometimes the membrane potential is more negative, sometimes it will come positive, again it will go back. It will come to positive, again it will go back. So these are called as the basal electrical rhythms, which are all the time there, and important point is, during this basal electrical rhythm, there is no contraction at all. There is no contraction. Okay, there is no action potential generation, there is no muscle contraction. This is simple fluctuation, electrical fluctuation within the interstitial cell of Коваль. Okay, so no mechanical recordings are seen, no mechanical motility is seen. Now having said that, please look at this. Now this basal electrical rhythm, okay, which is also called as this basal electrical rhythms, these are also called as what? These are also called as slow waves. Okay, these basal electrical rhythms, they are also called as slow waves. Okay, now look at here guys, look at this image. Okay, you can clearly see, look at this image. Now on the top, okay, on the top, what I am showing you, on the top I am clearly showing you the electrical recordings. Okay, the electrical recordings. Now on the base, what I am showing you, on the base I am showing you the mechanical recording. On the top it's the electrical recording, on the base it is mechanical recording. Sir, now what is happening? See, there is a little fluctuation. This little fluctuation, you know what it is called as? This little fluctuation is called as, this is the basal electrical rhythm. Okay, this is the basal electrical rhythm. Now whenever there is normal basal electrical rhythm, is there is any contraction? See, there is no contraction. Okay, there is no contraction. Now what happens? See, now see, these are basal electrical rhythms, but upon which there are these spike potentials present. Guys, are you able to appreciate these spike potentials? Yes. Now why these spike potentials are coming? Now spike potentials are something like this. Okay, see here, spike potentials. Okay, so spike potentials. Now those spike potentials are the real action potentials. Okay, they will generate the real action potentials and they are the ones responsible for the contraction of the GIT. Okay, they will cause the real GI contractions. Now what I am trying to put to your mind is, please appreciate, see, normally basal electrical rhythm is there, all the time basal electrical rhythm is there, that rhythm is there, flow waves are getting produced. But whenever the parasympathetic activity is there, you eat, okay, you eat, and now parasympathetic activity is there, vagus is activated, it is releasing the acetylcholine. Now acetylcholine is being released onto the interstitial cell of Коваль. Now this interstitial cell of Коваль, now under the influence of acetylcholine, see, under the influence of acetylcholine, now what they are doing? See, now under the influence of acetylcholine, see here, till here there is acetylcholine. Now they are starting to produce these spike potentials. Now see, first one spike potential is there. Whenever there is one spike potential, yes, little contraction. After the spike potential, yes, one contraction, little contraction is there. Now under the influence of acetylcholine, now more and more spike potentials are coming. So no more powerful contraction. More the number of spike potentials, more powerful contractions. Okay, more powerful contractions are coming. Now after that, if epinephrine is coming, okay, epinephrine, sympathetic nervous system. Now whenever there is sympathetic nervous system, GI motility should be inhibited. Okay, GI motility should be inhibited. So that's why I say, whenever epinephrine is coming, again the spike potentials are decreasing. Again the cells are going back to their basal electrical rhythm. So again what happens? See, now the contractions are coming down, going back to normal, So this basal electrical rhythm are these slow waves. This basal electrical rhythm, BR, is also called as slow waves, which are nothing but just the electrical fluctuations. They are not the action potential. They do not cause any peristalsis or GI motility. But the spike potentials, they will cause mechanical contraction. Okay. Having said that, now let's see the rate of BER. Okay. Now this interstitial cells of 𝐻𝐿, they are present all throughout the GI tract. Okay. They are starting from the greater curvature of the stomach. They will go to the colon. Now these interstitial cells of 𝐻𝐿 in different parts produce different number, different rate of BER. The rate of BER is going to be different. For example, see in the duodenum, okay, in the duodenum, the duodenal interstitial cells of 𝐻𝐿, they will produce a BER of 12 per minute. Okay, 12 small low waves. Okay, 12 fluctuations are going to come in a minute. So what is the rate of BER in duodenum? The BER rate in duodenum is 12. Okay, maximum BER is seen in the duodenum. And the minimum BER is seen in the cecum. Okay, minimum BER is in the cecum. So in duodenum it is 12 per minute, terminal ileum it is 8, stomach 4, cecum it is 2, and sigmoid colon it is somewhere 6. So the rate, okay, basal electrical rhythm, the rate of basal electrical rhythm is different in different parts of the GIT. Okay, again repeating, interstitial cells of 𝐻𝐿, they are not in one number, they are present all the way of the GIT, they are present all along the GIT. Okay, so electrical fluctuation or electrical motility is completed. Now let's really discuss about the mechanical motility, the real motility. Now there are two types of mechanical contractions. Okay, two types of mechanical contractions which are called as peristalsis as well as segmentation. Now what is the difference between peristalsis and segmentation, if you ask me? See, this peristalsis and segmentation both are happening during fed state. Here also footballers is there, The peristalsis the main aim of peristalsis is for the propulsion of the food. Okay, forward movement of the food. The food need to be going from this part to the other part. Antegrade movement of the food. Okay, so we don't want regurgitation. So what is happening? See, when the footballers is over here, now the proximal segment, okay, this proximal segment, it is getting contracted. The proximal segment is undergoing contraction. Okay, the proximal segment is undergoing contraction. So which facilitated only the forward motility. The forward or this distal segment, okay, this distal segment actually it will undergo relaxation, which is not clearly shown in this image, but anyway, the proximal segment is undergoing contraction. This contraction is because of substance P as well as acetylcholine. The neurotransmitter which are causing the contraction of the proximal segment, the neurotransmitters are acetylcholine as well as substance P. Okay, acetylcholine and substance P. Now, what should happen to this distal segment? This distal segment should have to undergo relaxation. So, who is causing the relaxation? Okay, which neurotransmitters are going to cause the relaxation? It is done by VIP, vasoactive intestinal peptide, and nitric oxide. So, let me write it down here for you. So, nitric oxide, okay, nitric oxide and vasoactive intestinal peptide, they will cause relaxation. Okay, and here acetylcholine and substance P, they will cause contraction of the proximal segment. So, which will prevent regurgitation and facilitate only the forward movement. See, the food is moving in one single direction, unidirectional flow. Okay, now what is segmentation? So segmentation, please look at here. This is the footballers. Okay, now the food is now divided into small pockets. Here are the small pockets where the proximal segment as well as the distal segment both are getting contracted, dividing the food into small pockets. Now what happens? Now here the food is going to be mixed with the digestive enzymes, and now the food is going to be digested. Okay, food is going to be digested. So segmentation is a type of GI contraction. It's a type of GI contraction or GI motility where the food is getting digested mainly. Okay, the food is getting digested. But peristalsis is mainly intended to move the food forward. So these are the two important types of GI motility: peristalsis, segmentation. Both are happening when? Both are happening during fed state. Both are happening during fed state. Okay, but if you ask me out of these two, who is the major? Okay, who is the major GI contraction or major GI motility is all the time segmentation. Okay, it's not the peristalsis, it's the segmentation. Okay, segmentation. Now after this, let's talk about one more GI motility. One more GI motility which is called as migratory motor complex. Okay, migratory motor complex. Now, what is this migratory motor complex? See, this migratory motor complex is also called as MMC, simply migratory motor complex. Okay, migratory motor complex. Now, when you will see this type of GI motility, now this MMC is going to be mainly seen during fasting states, but segmentation and peristalsis they are seen during fed state. This migratory motor complex is going to be seen during fasting states. You haven't taken food for the last 20 hours, you haven't taken any food. Okay, now what happens, even though still your GIT will start to contract. Okay, you haven't taken now, for example, night now, at 7 o'clock you took the food and you are not taking the food tomorrow morning till 11 o'clock. Now there is a gap period, right? Even then, GIT will undergo contraction. Why? Clean the GIT. If there is any leftover particle, if there is any leftover food, to clean that, to move that food towards the rectum. Okay, to clean the GIT, yes, GIT, there is contraction. This is called as the migratory motor complex. So, migratory motor complex is seen during fasting state. Okay, it's seen during fasting state, where a contraction wave is going to start from the contractions, where the contractions are going to start from the stomach, and this contraction will go up to the colon. So why do we need this migratory motor complex? Now they will help in cleaning of the GIT. This migratory motor complex cleans the GIT. So that's why this migratory motor complex is also called as broomstick or sweeper of the GIT. And whenever this migratory motor complex is more, that will even causes the pain. Which is called as hunger pangs. Okay, which are called as hunger pangs. Now what is the importance of this migratory motor complex cleaning? Preparing the GIT. See, it prepares the GIT for next meal. Okay, cleaning the residues and preparing the GIT for the next meal. And usually one migratory motor complex, okay, one MMC, one migratory motor complex is seen with every 90 minutes. 90 minutes means 1.5 hours. Okay, one migratory motor complex is seen every 1.5 hours or 90 minutes. And this migratory motor complex is mainly mediated by motilin. It is mediated by motilin. Okay, now let's discuss. Okay, we have discussed about everything. Now let's wrap up. Sir, motility in GIT. How many types of motility are there? Electrical motility, electrical fluctuation is there. Okay, electrical fluctuation is there. So that electrical fluctuation which happens all the time in the interstitial cells of 𝐒𝐻𝐵, that electrical fluctuation is called as slow waves or basal electrical rhythm. Again I am repeating, they are not the action potentials. There is no mechanical recording, no mechanical contraction of the GIT. These are just the fluctuations, slow waves. Okay. Now let's talk about the mechanical motility. Mechanical motility is the real motility, contraction of the GIT. Now the mechanical motility is going to be divided into two types. Like, for example, during fed state. Okay, during fed state. Now how many types of motility are there? One is peristalsis, helping in propulsion of the food, and segmentation, which is most common and the major thing. Segmentation helps in digestion. And the mechanical motility which happens during fasting state is called as migratory motor complex. Migratory motor complex, which is helping in cleaning the GIT. Okay guys, with this we are done with the topic of GI motility. Hope the video is helpful. Thank you.